The sight of my powerful and sculpted by Aphrodite herself breasts offended my doctor. I was recently diagnosed with a long-term illness that requires me to visit my doctors for frequent checkups. I figured it would be easier for me to change my family doctor to the one they had at the clinic, because my specialist was also there. Big mistake. We had our second appointment today. She didn't even give me the chance to sit down before making a disgusted expression and said, "Can you cover that?" Silly me thought she was referring to the curtains and wanted me to close them. "It's not a nice sight, could you?" She trailed off. She even made a gesture with her own t-shirt to get me to cover myself up all the way to my neck. Oh, no, she didn't. Spoiler alert, she did. Today was horribly hot outside and I was wearing a regular versus neck dress and sneakers. My chest area is average. And if I'm not mistaken, it's 2023 unless I drove DeLorean and ended up in 1930. We tried to continue with the appointment, but it was quite infuriating and frustrating. I was there to discuss important matters, not to be judged by her over something I had no control over. 1. She pretended she didn't know why I was here, when it was her who had asked me to make the appointment. I think she just didn't want me to be there. 2. She had to measure my blood pressure, but she didn't even want to put the equipment around my arm because of my imposing boobs. When she was done, she told me to take it off myself because, again, my massive hot air balloon boobs were quite intimidating, I guess. 3. She wanted me to cover my chest with the curtains, probably, yet kept staring at it and talking to it. I'm not sure what was up today. On top of my illness, I wasn't prepared to put up with such BS from the person that it's supposed to be helping me out. But rest assured, I'll change doctors and probably wear a cleavage all the way to my belly for my next appointment. Report that nonsense. How is this woman even a doctor if she is so strongly offended by breasts? How on earth does this woman help patients who have medical issues relating to their breasts? She just refuses to look at them? I'm so sorry you had to deal with such wild bullshit, particularly from a fellow woman. I hope you can easily transfer away from her care and report her so someone who isn't as strong as you doesn't have to feel belittled when seeking medical attention. What? Single quote question mark. I thought maybe you had a nip slip or something. I work in healthcare and barely notice bodies unless it is something I am assessing or trying not to embarrass someone walking in the hall with no underwear on or something. So bizarre. I thought from the title that maybe you were topless for an exam or something. Am I understanding correctly that you were fully clothed? Are your breasts the size of beach balls or something? I know religious conservatives do find their way into the medical profession, but this just seems so over the top. Physician here. Of all the things I've encountered in my work, it's hard to imagine normal human anatomy affecting me this way. And even if it did, I'd have the common courtesy and professionalism to keep it to myself. Light up her social media like a Christmas tree. The doctor was offended by you boobing boobily into the room. In the future you can probably just order her to do things. She is clearly intimidated by your boobs and will recognize you as the alpha. I kept rereading this, searching for an explanation for why you were topless at the doctor's office before finally realizing you weren't topless. This doctor is just completely unprofessional, mind you. Even if you had to be shirtless for an exam, a doctor shouldn't even be bothered considering they, studied the human body for years to get their degree. Did doctor have her ankles covered? A bonnet? Did you accidentally go to an Amish church? I just sat with my legs in stirrups and my vagina spread open for a half hour while 4 people milled about and got the procedure prepped. I think your doctor would have fainted. Me thinks the lady doctor doth protest too much. Legitimately can't think of another reason a medical professional would be bothered by some boobs. She has something internal to work out that the sight of your chest stirred up. You breasted into the room entirely too boobily, rolling on the floor laughing. Had issues with touching your breasts? Are you sure this woman is a real, actual doctor? Yeah, report that. That is some terrible behavior on her part. Very good medical doctor who is afraid of the human body even when it's dressed. Yay, def change doctors and probably report her. What the hell? How did she become a doctor? Maybe she's jealous and next time you need to wear a tiny bikini so she can get a good look and get over herself. Ew, what the fuck? In addition to it being 2023 not 1930 like you said. She's a doctor. You have a body. She needs to get over it. They're just titties for crying out loud. Sorry this happened to you. Def report and switch doctors. Or maybe see if there's a diff general doctor in that office that you can see so you're still in house with the specialist? I don't know. Does anyone think OP should talk to her specialist in that office about how unprofessional the general doctor was? It's not everyday powerful and sculpted by Aphrodite herself. Breasts appear to puny humans. Aphrodite has historically caused all manner of intimidations and jealousy. Clearly history is repeating itself. I expect doctors to view me like a piece of meat machinery that they are expected to be the experts on. If you're a doctor, I expect that you can handle any sight, smell, or sound that the human body can produce and handle it with grace. Making any comment on your appearance that doesn't have something to do with you medically is hugely inappropriate, and she's not fit to be a doctor. Incredibly inappropriate for a medical doctor to have that type of reaction over the sight of a portion of someone's body. Please report her and I hope you get well soon. Op. Honestly, it sounds like she needs therapy to deal with some unresolved stuff. That or OP isn't mentioning some eldritch horror sprouting from their chest or something. After reading this, and all I can think is your chest is so magical you turned your doctor gay and she didn't take it well. She's mid-key repressed and acting out about it. She's into boobs, but is harmfully, intentionally unaware of that. And she's lashing out when her pants start to feel funny. Highly unprofessional. Would definitely recommend reporting her. Absolutely report this. An awful experience and I'm so sorry. It's so insane to me when doctors act repulsed or disturbed by the human body like it is literally your job. What is happening? Look, as much as I appreciate the credit, it wasn't me. But at the same time, WTF? That is an epic degree of unprofessionalism by the doctor. Damn. Someone has some kind of internal work to do. Report her. Medical professionals should be so over the human body by the time they get to practicing. I mean, shouldn't they have seen it all by then between medical school and internships? I'd expect one rotation in the would make them immune to pretty much anything. Wow, I thought the story would involve you having to disrobe for some reason and then doctor gets weird for some reason, but this doctor straight up got weird about clothed breasts? Hi, I'm gay and my take: that woman is gay and has a lot of self-loathing about it. Congrats on being blessed by Aphrodite. If your breasts offend her, she needs to change to a different speciality where she never has to see another boobie. SGE also needs to grow the hell up. She isn't mature enough to be a doctor. That is nonsense. How did she get licensed?